Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name's Sophie and today's video I'm doing my top 10 tips for staying motivated and for working at home. So I know since March this year, since coronavirus broke out, there has been a lot of people that have had to work from home, and I know a lot of people have now returned to offices, but I do know as well a lot of people still are working from home, like myself, if they can, and if their employer obviously is saying to do so. And I know as well that a lot of people do struggle working from home because it's not their usual environment and it is a lot to adjust to. I personally I enjoy working from home, I'm not gonna lie. Like I thrive working in my home environment. That's just how I am. I remember back when I was at university, I used to just crack on. Like I'd sit there in my own, like in my flat, and I could just sit and work for hours and hours on end. Like I can stay motivated quite easily. But these top 10 tips that I'm going to talk you through do definitely help me and my routine with working. So I hope this helps, or I hope like it gives you an insight of what I do, and whether you're doing these things or not. Like if you're not, maybe try it. I don't know, like I'm not gonna sit here and say like you must do all this, but these are just things that help me. So the first thing is so simple, and it's like it's a bit like a mum thing, isn't it, of saying like you need to get up early. First thing I've put is get up early, and what I mean by get up early, I don't mean get up 5 AM, like you don't need to, like depending on when you start, get up at least an hour before you start. I know some people roll out of bed like 15 minutes before they need to work and just kind of sign on and get ready as and when they're working. That's fine. If that works for you, that's fine. For me, it just helps putting myself in a routine. I make sure I get up at least an hour before I'm due to start work. That gives me time to get ready, kind of wake up, have a coffee, my breakfast, and just kind of mull over the morning before I start working, because I cannot for the life of me roll out of bed and just kind of bing, crack on. It's just I need that time to wake up. But that is obviously, like all of these, this is just a personal preference and it might not work for someone else. But definitely talking about like the routine thing, it just helps me feeling in that routine. Like back when I was working in the office, obviously I'd get up about probably an hour and a half before I needed to leave, and I did the exact same things as what I do now. So I was still in that mindset of like I'm getting up and getting ready to go to work, and whether that's just upstairs like my commute in the house or whether it's going to the office, it just helps that mindset of being in that routine. So my second tip is to plan your day, which sounds so simple, but I always like to, in the morning, I sit there and I'll write a list of priorities. Priorities for the week, priorities that I know are going to come up in the next few weeks. So I've got them lists of knowing what's coming up, what projects, just to help me manage my time, manage the projects that I'm working on. And then I will do a to-do list for that day as well, and I will basically look at everything that's on my major list for the week and the next few weeks, see what needs prioritizing, see what's the most important, what can be done quicker, like if there's things that just can be turned around within half an hour, and just kind of prioritize it that way. That will help me then create my to-do list for the day, and then I'll do that every day. That just kind of helps. Obviously things come up throughout the day as well that aren't on the list. Don't freak out by that. Just like if it can fit in, then that's great, and if that's more important and needs to be done and something else has to sacrifice and move to the next day, that's just how it works. So I do feel like just keeping to-do lists and things like that just helps, and whether it's just written down in a notebook, written on a bit of paper, or digitally, like some people like to do it on their phones, some people have it all labelled out in the calendar, whatever works best for you. But I just do feel like it helps. Just planning your day just helps your mindset, helps you feel motivated. You can see right in front of you exactly what you need to do. Number 3, none of these, I'm looking at my like little list, none of these are in order because I'm kind of jumping as such. Not that there is an order to it, but I'm gonna stop waffling. I put number 3, music, in brackets, choice of. So I am someone that can't listen, again this is like personal preference, I can't sit and listen to music as such like while I'm working. Like if there's a lot of like with lyrics and things like that, with people singing, I can't always concentrate, or if I do, it has to be on the tiniest, like the lowest volume possible, so it's just kind of subtly there in the background. Personally, I really like listening to music composers, so I love listening to John Williams and Hans Zimmer. Just kind of a bit of background ambience, just slightly there, you know, just to keep you in the zone. I absolutely love that. Now and then I will pop on a podcast, but I don't want to be too involved in podcasts that it distracts me. Definitely move towards like Hans Zimmer for sure, because, you know, who doesn't like listening to like Inception soundtrack on your Monday afternoon? It's inspiring. Number 4, so I know this isn't possible for everyone, but a massive part of working from home is kind of separating your work, social life, home life. Do you know what I mean? I just feel like if you can create a desk space or an area in your house that was designated just for work, because the biggest mistake I feel like you could do is working from bed or working from your sofa in your living room. If you like sitting on that sofa in the evenings to try and wind down, you're sat in that same kind of area. There's no separation from leaving your work and entering your own time in your own house. And I do appreciate it's not easy for everyone. I am very grateful that I have, like, even though it's the tiniest little box room ever, but it's still a space where I've got my desk and my computer in there as well. So I am super grateful that I have that, and I do know that not everyone has that. But if it's just like, I don't know, like if there's an area on your dining table where you can set up, just somewhere that you're not going to want to sit there and chill in the evening, because you need that separation for your own time as well. And I just find it can be so much better for you, because you can feel like you're then leaving work and entering home life, even though you've been at home the whole time, if that makes any sense at all. Number 5 is to take breaks, and I think this is really important. Make sure you take your lunch break. This kind of integrates into point number 8 that I've put, which is working your regular work hours. So obviously everyone's going to be different in this sense. So personally for me, I work 8:30 till 5. I have an hour lunch. It's very important to make sure you take that hour lunch, like, or however long you have. Please don't work over into your lunch unless you can make the time back later, because I feel like it's easy to do that in the office and it's very easy to do that at home, and I have done that myself, and it's not great. If you can take that hour lunch break and get out of the house and just, you know, get some fresh air, take yourself away from your workspace, because you're going to be here all day and all night, like you're here all the time. So you need that time for yourself, to make sure you do take them breaks. It's really important, and just do something that's completely different. Try and take yourself away from screens if you can. I know some people like to sit and watch TV, which is absolutely fine. Like you can do that, like I'm not telling you not to, but sometimes just doing something a bit different. What I do like, which sounds really adult, is the fact that I can catch up on any like laundry and cleaning and stuff on my lunch, which sounds really sad. Obviously I eat, but like I don't do this every day, but now it's nice to be able to just kind of catch up, so I don't have to do that in the evenings. It's saving me time there. So yeah, so that's kind of like point 5, and I've kind of pulled in point 8, which was your regular work hours. So sneakily got them into together there. Number 6, I've put get ready for work. This one sounds really obvious, but I just feel like it's really important to feel like you're getting ready for work for the day. And I don't mean like sitting there in like a full-on shirt, suit, tie, pencil skirt, do you know what I mean? Just looking, I don't know, just presentable, and not even necessarily like, I mean, if you can wear a hoodie, that's great, but just get dressed. Don't sit in your pajamas. And it is really easy to sit in joggers and loungewear, and sometimes it's fine to do so, but like I feel like it definitely helps with the mindset of getting ready for the day. So just trying to look presentable, because you might have like video call meetings and things like that, but also gives that sense of getting ready for the work, which comes back to the routine in the morning, which for me, you know, that routine when I used to go to the office, I would get up like an hour and a half before, have a shower, get ready, get ready for the day, and I still do that now. So it helps me feel like I'm in work mode. Whereas on a weekend, I'll probably have a slower morning, do you know what I mean? Like, then you can differentiate your work time from your own time. So I do feel like that definitely helps, and it makes you just feel more put together and ready for the day. Number 7, I've put connect with colleagues. So it can be so lonely working from home, and loneliness is it's horrendous. It's something that I suffered with a lot at the beginning of the year because my partner works nights and I obviously work 8:30 till 5, so I would come home from work. This is when I was actually in the office. I would come home from work and I would see him for 5 minutes and then he would go to work, and then I wouldn't see him again because he'd be asleep when I got up, and it went like that. We'd see each other on the weekends, but obviously he's still in that sleeping pattern and I can't be that selfish to be like, you need to switch your sleeping pattern. Like, he'd still be sleeping most of the morning on the weekend, so obviously that impacts our time together. So I know how bad loneliness can be, and this is something that I've just had to deal with over this year, to be fair. It was really bad at the beginning of this year, but it's just something I've had to work on, and I'm very much I don't want to say used to it, like I'm in a better mindset now, but I totally get those that are like, this is completely new and you're just feeling very alone. So connecting with your colleagues is so important. Make sure you have them regular catch-up meetings with your colleagues. Like, you don't always have to have something in the diary every day, but just we personally use Microsoft Teams, and it's just so good. Like, we chat on there, you just genuinely feel like you're still in the office in a weird way. Like, every morning we check in, we say good morning, and every night we'll check out, but obviously throughout the day we'll have like our meetings scheduled in, and we'll have like phone calls throughout the day, things come up, video calls, so I do feel like I've seen them, and it's really lovely, and it's just a nicer way to connect. So do make sure that you speak out and talk to your colleagues, and don't sit there, please don't sit there and suffer in silence. If you're feeling really down and just really lonely, please speak to someone, because there's nothing worse than suffering in silence. I've been there. Number 9, so this is like something that I kind of touched on earlier, but I've put try and leave home try and leave your house on your lunch break, or try and leave your house after work. So what I haven't done this in a little while actually, which is really bad, but this is something that I did do a lot. So when I'd finish work, I would get my shoes on and I'd just leave the house and I'd go for a walk, and that would be my way of getting my steps in for the day. But also it's that way of kind of separating work and your own time. So I'd sign off for the evening, go for a walk, then when I enter my house again, it's my time. That's now the time that I'm going to wind down for the evening and chill out. So I just thought it's very helpful to kind of bring in that separation again, because it's so easy to just keep working and, you know, picking up things here and there when you don't necessarily need to, and it's a lot of strain. It's a lot of strain on yourself when and a lot of pressure when you're working from home, being at home all the time. Do you know what I mean? So just, you know, go easy on yourself and make sure you have them breaks and bring that separation in where you can. Number 10, and I know a lot of people will be guilty of this, but try and stay off social media throughout the day. I know obviously you're not going to be in the office, you're at home, so maybe someone's not watching you as such, but like, it's not a good way of being productive. Like, if you're sat scrolling through social media, your work's gonna suffer, and it's just mind-numbing. It is just mind-numbing. If you're aimlessly scrolling, it's just not good for anyone. And I know, like, on a weekend, like, I am so guilty for like sometimes scrolling, but it is mind-numbing. I'm like, I need to stop doing that because I need to do something. Do you know what I mean? Like, just aimlessly. It's not even like I'm on a weekend, like if I'm posting something, it's the fact that I'm just scrolling. I don't even know what I'm looking for. I'm just like scrolling for like an hour, and that I could have done something really decent in that hour, but did I? No. But in your work time, try your best to stay off your phone unless you're using it for like Teams and things, or Zoom, or whatever you're using to connect with your colleagues. Social media can be an absolute pain and drain your motivation for sure. So yes, that is all of my tips. I hope this helped in some way, and I hope you enjoyed this. If you are feeling a bit lonely and a bit down, please don't suffer in silence. Please reach out to someone. It's so important. I would hate to think that someone's just sat there dwelling on things and how they're feeling. I have been there. It's not nice, and the worst thing you can do is not talk about it, and not talk and tell your colleagues. And yeah, honestly, I'm telling you to do so. I'm telling you. Yes. But I really hope you enjoyed this video. I do hope it helped in some way, but I do appreciate everyone works differently. So some of these might not work for you, and that's absolutely fine because we all work very differently. This is just things that I personally find really helpful and help me motivate and just to stay really productive. So yes, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe if you want to see more from me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.